The latest storyline developments in ABC's ABC General Hospital promise to deliver heart-pounding drama as Jocelyn Jacks and her WSB partner Vaughn embark on their most dangerous mission yet. What begins as a seemingly routine undercover operation at the luxurious Five Poppies Resort and Spa in Dalmatia, Croatia, quickly transforms into a life-or-death scenario that will forever change the lives of everyone involved. Jack Brennan, the WSB chief, assigns Jocelyn and Vaughn their most challenging task yet, posing as newlyweds on their honeymoon at the picturesque Five Poppies Resort. This 2-week assignment represents a significant shift in their mission parameters, moving away from their previous focus on Professor Henry Hank Dalton and his suspicious research activities. The resort setting provides the perfect cover for their espionage work, allowing them to blend in among the other guests while conducting their covert investigation. The Five Poppies Resort and Spa, with its stunning Croatian coastline location and reputation for luxury, serves as an ideal backdrop for what should have been a straightforward intelligence-gathering operation. Jocelyn and Vaughn's romantic charade requires them to maintain their cover at all times, sharing intimate moments and presenting themselves as a devoted couple to any observers. This constant performance creates an underlying tension between the two agents, as their professional relationship becomes increasingly complicated by the need to display convincing affection. An unexpected encounter in the ladies' room, the first crack in their carefully orchestrated plan, occurs when Jocelyn makes an unexpected discovery during what should have been a routine trip to the resort's ladies' room. In a moment that defies all expectations, she comes face to face with Dr. Britt Westburn, a woman who is supposed to be dead. The shock of this encounter cannot be overstated. As far as Jocelyn knows, Britt died heroically after saving her from Heather Weber's poisoned hook attack. The emotional impact of seeing someone who sacrificed herself for Joss's safety creates an immediate moral dilemma for the young WSB agent. Britt, equally surprised by the encounter, quickly realizes that Jocelyn's presence at the resort under an assumed identity suggests she's involved in something far more complex than a simple honeymoon. The two women find themselves in a precarious situation where both have secrets that could prove dangerous if revealed. In a moment of mutual understanding, they make a silent pact. Each will keep the other's secret. Jocelyn agrees not to reveal Britt's survival to anyone, while Britt promises to remain silent about Joss's true identity and mission at the resort. This agreement creates a dangerous alliance that could have far-reaching consequences for both women. The enemy's discovery. Unknown to Jocelyn and Vaughn, their cover has not been as effective as they believed. The WSB's enemies have been conducting their own surveillance operations, and through careful observation and intelligence gathering, they begin to suspect that agents have infiltrated the Five Poppies Resort. The resort's seemingly peaceful atmosphere masks a complex web of international espionage and criminal activity. Various players with conflicting interests converge at this location, creating a powder keg of tension that threatens to explode at any moment. The presence of multiple intelligence operatives, criminals, and innocent civilians creates a dangerous mixture that proves impossible to control. The enemy's suspicions are confirmed through a series of small but telling details: unusual behavior patterns, suspicious communications, and the presence of individuals whose backgrounds don't quite match their supposed identities. Once they realize that WSB agents are operating within the resort, they decide to take decisive action to eliminate the threat. The bomb, a devastating response. The enemies of the WSB decide that the best way to handle the suspected infiltration is through decisive and brutal action. A bomb is strategically planted within the resort, designed to cause maximum casualties and eliminate any potential threats to their operations. The explosion occurs without warning, turning the peaceful luxury resort into a scene of chaos and destruction. The blast is powerful enough to cause significant structural damage to the building, creating a deadly environment filled with falling debris, smoke, and fire. The carefully planned attack demonstrates the ruthless nature of the WSB's enemies and their willingness to sacrifice innocent lives to protect their interests. The timing of the explosion suggests that the perpetrators have been carefully monitoring the situation waiting for the optimal moment to strike. Their goal is not just to eliminate the suspected agents, but to send a clear message about the consequences of interfering with their operations. Casualties of war, the price of espionage. The bomb explosion creates a horrific scene of devastation that transforms the elegant resort into a nightmarish battlefield. The blast claims multiple lives and leaves many others severely injured, creating a humanitarian crisis that overwhelms the local emergency response capabilities. Among the casualties, Vaughn suffers fatal injuries from the explosion. Despite his training and experience as a WSB agent, he cannot escape the devastating force of the blast. His death represents not only a personal tragedy for those who knew him, but also a significant loss for the intelligence community. The circumstances of his death highlight the very real dangers faced by those who choose to serve in the shadowy world of international espionage. Jocelyn, though seriously injured, manages to survive the initial blast. However, her injuries are severe enough to require immediate medical attention and extensive treatment. The physical trauma she suffers pales in comparison to the psychological impact of witnessing such devastation and losing her partner in the process. Britt, who had been trying to maintain her secret existence at the resort, also becomes a victim of the explosion. Her injuries are severe, threatening not only her immediate survival, but potentially exposing her hidden presence. At the location, the blast destroys her carefully constructed new life and forces her back into a world she had tried to leave behind. The aftermath, consequences, and revelations. The explosion at the Five Poppies Resort creates ripple effects that extend far beyond the immediate scene of destruction. The attack exposes the complex web of international intrigue that had been operating beneath the surface of the seemingly innocent luxury destination. For Jocelyn, the mission's tragic outcome serves as a brutal introduction to the harsh realities of intelligence work. The loss of Vaughn and the trauma of the explosion force her to confront the true costs of her career choice. Her injuries, both physical and psychological, will likely have lasting effects on her ability to continue her WSB activities. The exposure of Britt's survival creates additional complications for all parties involved. Her secret existence had been maintained for specific reasons, and the forced revelation of her presence threatens to unravel carefully laid plans and expose her to new dangers. The medical treatment she requires following the explosion may make it impossible to maintain her hidden status. The WSB faces a significant intelligence failure, as their operation has not only been exposed, but has resulted in the deaths of innocent civilians and the loss of valuable agents. The attack raises serious questions about their security protocols and the effectiveness of their current operational procedures. A story of sacrifice and survival. This explosive chapter in ABC General Hospital's ongoing narrative demonstrates the show's commitment to exploring the darker aspects of international espionage while maintaining the personal drama that has made it a beloved daytime institution. The storyline effectively balances action-packed sequences with emotional character development, creating a compelling narrative that keeps viewers engaged. The tragic fate of Vaughn serves as a reminder that in the world of espionage, no one is safe from the consequences of their actions. His death highlights the very real dangers faced by those who choose to serve in intelligence operations, where the line between success and disaster can be measured in seconds. Jocelyn's survival, though she bears significant physical and emotional scars, represents hope for the future and the possibility of redemption through continued service. Her experience at the Five Poppies Resort will undoubtedly shape her approach to future missions and her understanding of what it truly means to serve as a WSB agent. The revelation of Britt's survival adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate storyline. Her forced return to the public eye creates new opportunities for character development and plot advancement, while her injuries serve as a stark reminder of the explosion's devastating impact. As the dust settles on this dramatic chapter, the survivors must cope with their losses while preparing for whatever challenges lie ahead. The explosion at the Five Poppies Resort marks a turning point in the ongoing battle between the WSB and their enemies, setting the stage for future conflicts and revelations. that will continue to captivate ABC General Hospital audiences. Next, we will explore the thrilling twists and turns awaiting us in the next 3 weeks of Port Charles drama. From unexpected alliances to high-stakes secrets that could upend everything. Diving right into the heart-pounding action, ABC General Hospital is gearing up for a roller coaster of revelations, where characters like Britt Westburn prepare to unleash a jaw-dropping tale upon Jason Morgan. Willow Tate seeks solace from an unlikely confidant, and the suspense builds around Anna Devane's perilous situation following her shocking abduction. As the soap opera weaves its intricate web of romance, betrayal, and mystery, viewers can expect a blend of emotional confessions, risky encounters, and game-changing decisions that will keep everyone guessing. With storylines spanning from the bustling streets of Port Charles to exotic locales like Croatia, the coming episodes promise to deliver the kind of edge-of-your-seat excitement that has made General Hospital a staple for fans. We'll break it down week by week, highlighting the key players and their evolving fates, including fresh hints at family feuds, hidden agendas, and potential new beginnings that could redefine relationships across the board. Kicking off with the week of August 4th to 8th, 2025. All eyes are on Willow Tate as she navigates the aftermath of her turbulent split from Drew Kane, turning her world upside down in search of stability and support. Having openly acknowledged her pattern of relying on strong figures to bail her out of crises, Willow finds herself in a vulnerable spot, especially with custody battles looming over her beloved children. In a moment of raw honesty, she approaches Michael Corinthos with a plea to collaborate on resolving their shared parenting challenges, her words carefully avoiding any direct mention of rekindling their romance, yet leaving the door ajar for reconciliation if it means securing her family's future. Adding a layer of intrigue, preview footage shows Willow bearing her soul to Harrison Chase, the dedicated detective whose steady presence has often provided a calming influence amid chaos. This intimate exchange could spark something more profound. Imagine the sparks flying into a forbidden affair, culminating in Willow discovering she's carrying Chase's child, a development that would send shockwaves through his relationship with Brooke Lynn Quartermain. Remember, Brooke Lynn recently floored Chase with her insistence on mending fences with Joe Palmieri before pursuing adoption, creating a perfect storm of tension and opportunity for infidelity. To heighten the drama, perhaps Willow confides in Chase about lingering doubts from her past marriages, drawing parallels to her adoptive family history, while Chase shares his own frustrations with commitment, planting seeds for an emotional bond that blossoms into passion. This potential baby bombshell wouldn't just complicate custody arrangements, but could ignite explosive confrontations at family gatherings, forcing Michael to confront his own lingering feelings and Brooke Lynn to question her priorities. In a high-drama showdown, shifting focus to another captivating thread, Emma Scorpio Drake steps into the spotlight with a heartfelt confession that ties into broader Port Charles entanglements. Amid the buzz, Lucas Jones takes a bold stand by confronting Carly Spencer over her meddlesome ways, perhaps accusing her of overstepping in family matters that echo old grudges from the Spencer clan. Meanwhile, Justine Turner delivers a stern caution to Sonny Corinthos, warning him of impending threats that could stem from his volatile business dealings or resurfacing enemies from his mobster past, adding a gritty undercurrent of danger to his storyline. At the center, young Emma opens up to Trina Robinson in a moment of vulnerability, spilling her innermost thoughts and seeking advice on navigating tricky social waters. Trina, ever the wise friend, reinforces that Jocelyn Jack's earlier alert carried genuine weight, urging Emma to heed it to avoid heartache. Their conversation might delve deeper into Emma's budding crush on Joe Palmieri, exploring the butterflies of first love, intertwined with the complications of Port Charles' interconnected familias perhaps. Emma admits to daydreaming about shared adventures or musical duets with Joe, while Trina shares anecdotes from her own romantic trials to guide her. Inventing a fresh twist, Emma could reveal a secret keepsake from her travels, like a locket from her grandmother Robin, symbolizing her quest for connection, which ties into her interest in Joe as someone who understands loss and resilience. This exchange not only strengthens their friendship, but sets the stage for potential teen drama. including jealous rivalries or unexpected alliances that ripple into adult storylines. Venturing overseas to the sun-soaked intrigue of Croatia, Britt Westburn finds herself entangled in a massive complication that threatens to derail her covert operations. The determined doctor is already pushing boundaries by ignoring directives from her enigmatic superior, showcasing her trademark independence that has defined her character through trials, like her Huntington's diagnosis and past romantic entanglements. Complicating matters further is Pascal, the shadowy operative who seems poised to stir up more trouble for Britt, perhaps by sabotaging her plans or leaking intel that forces her into desperate improvisations. On a parallel track, Vaughn teams up with Jocelyn Jacks for a reconnaissance mission to the enigmatic Five Poppies Resort, armed with strict instructions from Jack Brennan to merely observe and report on personnel shifts, subtle alliances, or any whispers of underground activities without engaging directly. Joss, with her fiery spirit, might inadvertently stumble into Britt's path during a tense stakeout, leading to a charged encounter that exposes hidden truths. To expand this, envision Joss disguising herself as a tourist, complete with a fake accent and binoculars, while Vaughn provides tech gadgets like hidden cameras, building suspense as they navigate the resort's luxurious yet treacherous grounds, dodging security and piecing together clues about the lab's true purpose. Looking ahead to the week of August 18, 2025, and beyond, the narrative escalates with Jocelyn and Britt potentially striking a clandestine agreement to protect their respective secrets, Britt fiercely guarding the fact that she's still alive and operating under the radar, might negotiate with Joss to keep her resurrection under wraps until her mission, possibly involving groundbreaking medical research or thwarting a larger conspiracy, reaches completion, all while Joss grapples with concealing her own undercover role in what appears to be a shadowy organization. This pact could involve coded signals or shared safe houses, adding espionage flair to their dynamic. However, with Jason Morgan en route to the Five Poppies Resort, driven by his unyielding loyalty and investigative prowess, the situation is bound to spiral into chaos as old flames and unresolved tensions resurface. Expect Britt to captivate Jason with a riveting account of her survival, perhaps detailing narrow escapes from assassins, forged identities, and alliances with unlikely figures that explain her current predicament. Back home in Port Charles, Jack Brennan ups the ante in his cat-and-mouse game with Carly, leveraging information that could expose vulnerabilities in her empire or personal life, while Joss's knowledge of his habit of maintaining physical records offers a glimmer of hope for extricating herself from the World Security Bureau's grasp. Inventing an extra element, perhaps Joss discovers a hidden file cabinet during a covert visit, containing dossiers on key players like Sonny or Anna, providing leverage for future blackmails or rescues. As Anna Devane's kidnapping saga unfolds, hints suggest her fate hangs in the balance. Could she escape with help from an old ally, or will it lead to a dramatic revelation about her captor's ties to Casadini's secrets? Wrapping up these spoilers, the next 3 weeks on ABC General Hospital are packed with emotional depth, surprising twists, and the kind of interpersonal fireworks that define the show. From Willow's quest for a new savior to Britt's explosive reunion with Jason, and the lingering question of Anna's survival, every episode promises to deliver must-watch moments. We will dive deep into the intriguing mystery surrounding the shadowy figure, bankrolling Henry Hank Dalton's cutting-edge lab research. In the ever-twisting world of Port Charles, speculation is running wild about the enigmatic investor pulling the strings behind Hank's ambitious scientific endeavors. With the notorious Jens Sidwell entangled in this web, it's easy to assume this benefactor is a classic soap opera antagonist, perhaps someone with a dark history like the cunning Victor Casadini, who has long manipulated events from the shadows, or the slippery Jerry Jacks, known for his globe-trotting schemes and family ties that often blur ethical lines. There's even chatter about Peter August making a ghostly comeback, given his penchant for resurrection and revenge plots that have haunted the town before. Yet, as the storyline unfolds, subtle clues are emerging that paint this mystery boss in a more nuanced light, suggesting they might not be the outright villain everyone fears. but rather a complex character with hidden motives and unexpected alliances. Let's rewind to the electrifying events of the Monday, August 4th episode, where tensions boiled over in a dramatic showdown between Dr. Britt Westburn and the elusive Pascal. Picture this: Britt storms into the scene, her frustration palpable after Pascal abruptly cuts short a crucial phone conversation with none other than Jason Morgan, the stoic enforcer whose involvement adds layers of intrigue to the lab's operations. Britt, ever the fierce advocate for her own autonomy, demands greater leeway in her role, insisting that their mutual boss would prioritize her well-being above all else. She boldly urges Pascal to relay her message, emphasizing that he has a vested interest in keeping her content and healthy. Pascal, though hesitant, complies, setting the stage for a pivotal phone call that shifts the narrative. When the mystery man finally dials in, the exchange is surprisingly warm. Britt speaks without a trace of fear, her tone laced with familiarity and trust. He inquires about her health with genuine concern, perhaps alluding to her past battles with illness, and offers reassurances that hint at a deeper, protective bond. This interaction sparks fresh questions. Could this investor be more of a guardian angel than a malevolent force? In the high-stakes realm of General Hospital, such tenderness amid chaos often signals a character with redeeming qualities, possibly someone from Britt's inner circle who has evolved beyond their darker impulses. Adding another layer to this puzzle, the episode cleverly wove in a reference to the infamous Caesar Faison during a tense conversation between Anna Devane and Liesel Obrecht. As Britt's biological father, Faison looms large in her life story, a master manipulator whose villainous exploits, from brainwashing to international terrorism, have left scars across Port Charles. Yet his paternal instincts, however twisted, could explain a desire to safeguard Britt's health, especially if he's secretly funneling resources into Hank's research for her benefit. Imagine Faison, presumed dead or in hiding, orchestrating this from afar, collaborating with Sidwell not out of pure malice, but to advance a personal agenda tied to family legacy. This mention isn't coincidental. It revives memories of Faison's obsessive love for his daughter, blending his criminal genius with rare moments of vulnerability. Fans are debating whether this nod foreshadows his return, perhaps in a reformed guise, or if it's a red herring to distract from the true investor's identity. Shifting gears to more heroic possibilities, what if the mystery backer is Jasper Jacks, the charismatic Australian tycoon whose fortunes could easily fund such a venture? Jacks and Britt shared a genuine friendship in the past, marked by mutual respect and light-hearted banter that stood out amid the town's turmoil. As a wealthy entrepreneur with a history of dipping into gray areas like his corporate battles and occasional moral compromises, Jacks fits the profile of someone who could teeter between heroism and opportunism. He hasn't graced our screens lately, which might be a deliberate ploy by the writers to build suspense for a grand reveal, complete with a potential recast to refresh his storyline. Envision Jacks, motivated by lingering affection for Britt, investing in the lab to support her medical expertise, or even to counter Sidwell's influence subtly. His global connections could introduce new plot threads, such as international intrigue or family secrets resurfacing, adding depth to his character's return and explaining the caring tone in that phone call. Of course, we can't overlook Nicola's Casadini as a prime suspect in this enigma. Despite his current incarceration, Nicola's shares a uniquely complicated history with Britt, forged through alliances, betrayals, and unspoken chemistry that once electrified their interactions. In the fantastical landscape of soaps, prison walls are no barrier to scheming. Nicola's could be pulling strings from behind bars, perhaps through proxies or hidden assets, to fund the research as a way to atone for past wrongs or protect those he cares about. His Casadini heritage equips him with vast resources and a knack for shadowy dealings. Yet recent arcs have shown glimpses of redemption, making him a fitting candidate for a not-so-bad investor. Picture secret communications, coded messages, and unexpected twists that tie back to his family's infamous legacy, all while hinting at his eventual escape or exoneration to rejoin the fray. As the layers of this mystery continue to peel back, General Hospital is masterfully keeping viewers on the edge of their seats, blending suspense with emotional depth. The investor's identity could reshape alliances in Port Charles, influencing everything from Hank's breakthroughs to Brit's future. Who do you think is the mystery investor lurking in the shadows?